Here's the recap in Dar's voice. I'll tell it plain, because there ain't much honor in dressing up a beating prettier than it was. They marched with Nyrix to claim Nightfall's edge, that black damn sword he's been chasing through dreams and obsession for who knows how long. The tomb sat there like every other bad decision in Bethica. Old stone, old silence, and the kind of welcome that says somebody wanted strangers dead long before they arrived. They went down the steps, pushed in, and heard that sound first. Not wind, not chains, just that ugly humming, like the place itself was waiting to bite. Then the door opened, and there it was. A hall soaked floor to wall, water spread across the stone, lightning crawling through it like angry snakes. Lucky for them, somebody in the party had the sense to use that special dust. Threw it down, soaked the whole mess dry, and stole the room's first trick before it could fry them where they stood. Good thing too, because the moment they pushed in, the dead came floating. Stormbound shades, nasty things. Wouldn't come down and fight like proper enemies either. Just hovered out of reach and forced them to answer with arrows, spells, and whatever else could fly. Whole fight turned into a damn shooting match in a stone box. Still, they put them down. Took some work, but they put them down. After that, they moved into the next chamber, and that room wasn't trying to kill them with force. It was trying to make fools of them. Area 2. Tight little trap room. Treasure sitting there on pedestals like a promise too easy to trust. They had to work out the trick, rewire the whole thing so it wouldn't go off when they touched anything. That part took more brains than brawn, which meant some folks stood there looking useful while other people earned their pride. End of it though, they got the goods. 6 treasure pieces off those pedestals. One of them was a helmet, and Katniss, in a moment of courage mixed with stupidity, tried to put it on. Problem was her dwarven head had other ideas. Fine piece, bad fit. I'll admit, after a tomb full of death and humming stone, hearing someone lost a fight to their own head was a nice change of pace. Now, before they handled the crypt room proper, they made the mistake of testing that sealed way toward the last chamber. Opened it, stepped through, and the whole tomb spat them back to the start like it had a sense of humor. Right back to Area 1. That was when they learned this place wasn't just trapped, it was mocking them. So they changed course and went into Area 3 instead. 2 crypts, cold room, heavy silence, the kind that presses on your chest. Soon as they stepped in, the Guardians came out. Crypt-light wardens, 2 of them, radiant dead, disciplined, cruel, and a lot meaner than the floating lights in the flooded hall. That fight was rough, cleaner than the first, but harder. No wasted motion, no panic, just those things appearing out of death's own pocket and trying to fold them into the dust with the rest of the room. But they won. Hurt, tired, irritated, but still standing. Found what they needed and pushed on. Skipped Area 4 after that. No point pretending otherwise. They had what they came for, thought they did, and headed straight back for the last chamber. Then they reached Area 5. I'll give the tomb this much. It knew how to lie beautifully. Door opened into a burial chamber built to make you stop breathing for a second. Spikes rising and falling around the room, all sharp rhythm and bad intent. A grand coffin. A glass sarcophagus. Hero laid out inside like the world had paused to mourn him. And there on his chest, the blade. Nightfall's edge. The very thing Nyrix had dragged them all down there to find. Looked perfect. Looked important. Looked exactly like the kind of prize men die reaching for. And then Nyrix did what every fool in every old story does. He reached for the sword. That was when the room woke up. The spirit rose. The radiant tomb guardian, tall, blazing, armored, and pale deathlight, standing up like judgment itself, had been waiting politely for someone dumb enough to start the conversation. And it didn't come alone. 4 more creatures came with it. Crypt-light wardens and stormbound shades. The whole room turned from quiet glory into a slaughter in one breath. Melkar got hit hard. One of the wardens carved into him with 2 brutal strikes and dropped him flat. Just like that, no speech, no warning. Down. That was the moment the whole thing stopped feeling like a bad fight and started feeling like a grave they were climbing into with their own hands. Those monsters put them under real pressure. Shades staying mobile. Wardens hitting like executioners. The Guardian owning the chamber like it had buried armies before breakfast. And the spikes never stopped threatening to finish whatever the dead began. They fought. Don't let anybody say they didn't. They fought hard. But hard and winning aren't the same thing. They were beating them. Not close, not one more good round and they turn it. They were beating them badly. The kind of badly where you stop thinking about treasure and start counting who's still breathing. That's when Nyrix made the call. Smartest thing he did all day, if you ask me. Said it wasn't worth it. Said they'd retreat, regroup, and come back with stronger hands. Said he wasn't going to watch people die for a sword that was meant for him to claim. Now I'll admit, hearing that after they got hammered by glowing tomb bastards would sting anybody's pride something fierce. No sellsword likes to limp out of a fight while the enemy still stands. Makes the blood burn. Makes the jokes sharper too. But dead men don't get second tries, and pride doesn't raise the fallen. So they ran. Yes, ran. Anyone wants to dress it up and call it a tactical withdrawal? Be my guest. I call it what it was. They got their teeth kicked in, realized the tomb had more left to give than they did, and left before it buried them for good. So that's the tale of Nyrix's grand sword hunt so far. They found the tomb, broke its first teeth, beat its hall guardians, outsmarted one trap room, survived the crypt dead, reached the chamber of the honored dead, laid eyes on Nightfall's edge. Then got reminded that seeing a thing and taking a thing are very different matters. They'll go back. Of course they will. Men like Nyrix don't walk away from a blade that's been calling their name for years, and fools like the rest of them are apparently loyal enough to follow him back into the dark. But next time, they go in meaner, sharper, and with enough strength to finish what they started. And maybe next time, when a beautiful dead man offers them a sword in a glass box, they let somebody else touch it first.